Hello, this is Xtal. In this tutorial, we'll be creating an auto layout FX in TouchDesigner using a procedural grid structure as the foundation. We'll explore how to dynamically arrange and animate panel elements, offering techniques that are highly applicable to real-time UI design and motion graphics workflows. Import 6 movie files into TouchDesigner as movie file and operators. We'll combine these videos to create a flowing effect that seamlessly transitions across them. While 6 is our example, you can use any number of clips. Adding more layers increases the complexity and richness of the visual result. Begin by adding a switch and connect the 6 imported movie files as its inputs. Next, use an LFO to precisely control the timing of the video switches, ensuring each clip transitions smoothly and rhythmically. This approach highlights the importance of time-based control in managing multi-source video playback within TouchDesigner. Following the switch, connect a resolution to enhance the output video's resolution and quality. The resolution allows you to resize the footage to a target resolution while preserving as much detail as possible, making it essential for high-quality visual workflows. This step ensures you have a clean and crisp source before applying further effects. Connect a null to establish a stable output reference for the signal flow and subsequent processing stages. Connect a Text 3D node to the null top, then adjust its cache size parameter to 94. Setting the cache size appropriately impacts rendering performance and memory usage, so optimizing this value is key to maintaining efficient workflow. This ensures the 3D text element is processed smoothly and performs reliably in real time. Connecting a time machine node to the Text 3D node enables you to capture and play back previous frames of the text geometry, allowing for sophisticated time-based animation effects. This setup facilitates creating a cumulative or looping motion patterns that add a dynamic and engaging layer to real-time interactive visuals. However, careful management of caching and memory is essential, as improper initialization of the time machine node may lead to unintended ghosting or artifacts. With the foundational setup complete, we'll now move on to generating a square grid based on noise. Start by bringing in a noise node and fine-tuning its parameters to prepare the desired structure and motion of the grid. This step is crucial for creating patterns that blend randomness with structured repetition. In the Noise Node's Transform panel, set the Rotate RZ parameter to absolute time seconds times 1.5. This means the noise pattern continuously rotates based on the absolute time, creating an animation rotating at 1.5 radians per second. Applying this dynamic rotation injects life into the otherwise static grid pattern, producing organic and evolving visuals that enhance viewer engagement. After adding motion to the noise, connect a limit and change the position quantize setting to ceiling. This converts the continuous noise values into a square grid pattern by quantizing positions upwards to integer steps, creating a clean lattice structure. You then adjust the size of the grid cells to ensure each video element is prominently visible and well defined in the composition. Connect a blur to the limit to soften the edges of the grid pattern. This blur effect smooths out the harsh lines of the square grid, enhancing visual harmony and creating a more organic, fluid motion. It also facilitates smoother transitions when combined with subsequent effects. After the blur, bring in the Dent Filter from the image filter and connect it. The Dent Filter adds depth and distortion to the image, enhancing overall visual texture and dimensionality. This step builds layered complexity, emphasizing dynamic movement and richer spatial effects within the composition. Next, we'll use a ramp to introduce a rough, textured look to the square grid. To start, connect a displace, which will allow us to distort the pixel positions based on the brightness values of the ramp. Bring in a ramp and adjust its size to fit your desired composition, then connect an LFO to introduce time-based variation. This causes the ramp pattern driving the displace effect to continuously shift, resulting in a grid that appears randomized and ever-changing. At this stage, it's less about recreating exact values and more about freely experimenting with parameters to discover your own visual rhythm and aesthetic. Once the square grid has been fully constructed, connect it to the final node of the base network, the time machine. This integration maps the preloaded video content into each grid cell, embedding live footage within the animated layout. By combining abstract structure with real video sources, you create a visually rich and dynamic composition that blends form and motion seamlessly. Next, connect a transform to the time machine and enable the comp over background color option. This setting ensures that any transparent or semi-transparent areas in the content are properly composited over a solid background, maintaining visual integrity. It's especially helpful when layering multiple video elements or preparing the output for additional effects and final compositing. After the transform, connect a level and reduce the Gamma 2 parameter. Lowering Gamma 2 adjusts the midtone brightness curve, enhancing contrast and bringing out more detail in darker regions of the image. Finally, use an over to composite the processed video with another layer. The over blends two input sources based on their alpha channels, allowing for a smooth and natural integration of foreground and background elements. This step helps unify multiple visual layers into a cohesive final composition, enhancing the overall aesthetic and clarity of the output. Before adding the background, we connect the over to a feedback to accumulate visual information across frames, creating motion trails or fluid visual continuity. The feedback reintroduces the output from the previous frame into the current frame, and by feeding it with the over, we gradually build up the composition over time. This technique is highly effective for generating organic evolving visuals, often used in motion graphics and real-time interactive installations. We'll now bring in a background video to connect to the over. In this case, I'm using a visually complex video, but applying a blur to soften the detail and reduce its dominance in the composition. This ensures the background supports the overall structure without overwhelming it, adding subtle texture and depth instead. This technique is especially effective in real-time visual design for managing visual hierarchy and guiding the viewer's attention where it matters most. After applying a blur to the background video, connect a level to fine-tune the color tone and contrast. This step is essential for adjusting the overall balance of the composition, helping the background stay visually supportive without competing with the foreground elements. Especially when working with bright or saturated footage, reducing brightness or tweaking gamma can make the scene feel more cohesive and visually controlled. By connecting the background video to the second input of the over, you can observe the foreground and background layers composited seamlessly. Next, we'll apply a Solarize to transform the overall mood of the composition. The Solarize effect inverts brightness values to create striking contrast and a visually impactful experimental look. When adjusted carefully, this filter can enhance the footage with vibrant textures while maintaining harmony within the overall design. Finally, connect a null top to ensure a stable output reference, followed by an out top to designate the final output path. Then connect a movie file out top to enable exporting the completed video to a file in your desired format. This finishing step is essential for recording your real-time work for archival or post-production purposes. That wraps up our creation of the Auto Layout FX. As a fellow creator, I understand the importance of pushing boundaries and experimenting to grow. The reason I share these tutorials is to help you find your own voice and unlock new possibilities in your work. I truly hope we continue to build a supportive community where we learn, experiment, and inspire each other. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching today.